What's going on, my Flabby family? It's your boy Izzy. Welcome if you're new. Cheryl Reeve ended up stepping out and saying what she had to say in the press conference about the game, how they came up.
We have times to get impatient, and I didn't think that our commitment to moving the basketball and creating advantages, we had a hard time getting that done, which led to, we had some easy shots that didn't fall, as did they, particularly early in the game, and then they kind of got their rhythm going, and we just we sort of lost ours. We had 27 points, and then we had 7 in the second quarter. That's tough. So yeah, give them credit. I watched the video back, but I would imagine that they just sort of beat us to spots. We didn't have our usual sort of fortitude, fight, and response to physicality. They beat us.
Emotional damage.
Chaos alert. Emotional damage reported. Cheryl Reeve has finally broken her silence after the Indiana Fever pulled off the impossible, winning the Commissioner's Cup and blowing expectations to smithereens like a rogue three-man rattling the rim. Analysts are stunned. Coaches are sweating bullets. And Cheryl? Her post-game comments might just be the next must-watch documentary clip. So, what actually happened? An epic meltdown? A masterclass, or a straight-up mic drop for the ages? Let's unpack the drama that's got the WNBA on fire.
Definitely feel like Christmas in July for the Indiana Fever because they put the beats on the Minnesota Lynx, man. They pretty much didn't have an answer for Natasha Howard. She was scoring at will. Final score 59-74. They came in ready to play. And I'm here to tell you, Cheryl Reeve had broken her silence about this. I ain't finna hold y'all up any longer.
That's part of the game. Easy. Watching Cheryl Reeve lose, and not just on the scoreboard. No, that would have been merciful. We're talking a full-blown, defense-fueled, emotionally exhausting Commissioner's Cup-crushing loss at the hands of the Indiana Fever. Yes, those Fever, the team supposedly tanking for draft picks, not demolishing elite coaches' reputations. But here we are. Reeve looked like someone who just realized her Uber driver was Caitlin Clark, on a full-blown revenge tour.
Arguments that I would hear when it comes to diminishing and downplaying Caitlin Clark. It would be, oh, Caitlin Clark has no championships. Caitlin Clark has never won a championship. Well, guess what? She's got one now. So what are you going to say now, huh? What is the argument going to be now? Where are we going to move the goalpost? Because Caitlin Clark has a championship.
It began quietly like most epic disasters do. A few missteps here, a couple of wait, who's guarding Howard? Moments there. Then Howard flipped the switch, becoming a one-woman fire alarm, setting off chaos across the Lynx bench.
They did it. The Indiana Fever actually did it. I am in shock. I'm genuinely in shock. I cannot believe that they managed to do it. The Indiana Fever just won the Commissioner's Cup. I love the fact that the Wand of Honor is not there in the championship, but I also understand that at this point in the season, the only thing there's been to play for is the Commissioner's Cup. And today we're going to be talking about the celebrations from the Indiana Fever. And if you guys agree, it's a great win.
The game? Scratch that. The game. She wasn't just scoring. She was unraveling defensive schemes like earbuds left in a washing machine. Meanwhile, Reeves scrambled for answers as the Fever doubled down. Chaos, pressure, and full-court humiliation on full display.
For the Indiana Fever, I didn't think they were going to win it. I'm sure most of you didn't think they were going to win it, but they came up with the victory against the Lynx in the Commissioner's Cup to get that bag. Every single player is going to be getting around 50 to 60K from this game. That's big time money for these WNBA players that don't make that much. Shout out to the Fever for getting the win. That was an ugly game though. More than it was a Fever win, I feel like it was a Lynx loss. They just played atrocious in that game. Courtney Williams was 4 for 14. Nafisa Collier was 6 for 18 from the field. Those two players were sucky. The entire team was sucky. They didn't even crack 60 points in this game. Oh,
Let's be honest. The Fever defense? That's no longer a suggestion. It's a warning label. What used to be a punchline is now a pack of wolves in matching jerseys. They've stopped playing like a rebuilding team and started collecting unpaid debts. And Cheryl Reeve's offensive sets owed them interest. Meanwhile, Natasha Howard, oh, sweet poetic vengeance. Ever since Bonner got waived, and yes, that saga deserves its own docuseries, Natasha has been unleashed, free from passive-aggressive locker room glances and emotionally manipulative high-fives. She's not just on the court, she owns it, locking shots, crashing boards, flexing midair like she's auditioning for a Marvel movie. This Natasha doesn't whisper dominance, she screams it. And then there's Ari McDonald. Dear Diary, she might be the most refreshing thing to happen to Indiana since they finally fixed all the potholes on I-65. She's pure spark, caffeine with a headband energy. She flies up the court while defenders stumble like they missed the memo on conditioning. Pure theater. Not just a great addition, she's the plot twist no one saw coming, rewriting the whole narrative.
Congratulations to the Indiana Fever today for winning the Commissioner's Cup. Minnesota, baby, what happened? Those shots just weren't falling for them today, and that's okay, because I'm not mad at that Indiana one. I'm actually really happy for them. They're a young team, and this is what I'll say, because I didn't even talk about the DeWanna Bonner of it all. Everyone was in a hoopla about it last week or whenever, and all I'll say is that you don't get Ari without losing DeWanna. And although we don't know the story or the details behind what went down with that, I'm happy that Ari's on the team. I really am, because even though we didn't have Caitlin available for today's game, like, Ari still helped carry that team. Natasha Howard, she showed up in a huge way today.
Back on the Lynx side, Reeve's post-game expression deserves a frame. Somewhere between, did I leave the stove on? And, was that even legal? She looked stunned, but not just by the scoreboard. No, this was existential, soul-crushing, which only made it worse. A win with Clark? Explainable. A loss without her? That's a sports documentary titled How to Lose Credibility in 40 Minutes. Meanwhile, the Fever fans were electric, cheering like they'd just gotten approved for student loan forgiveness. Popcorn flew, merch vanished off the shelves, and at least one brave soul tried to start a Cheryl, pack your bags chant.
The Indiana Fever beat the Minnesota Lynx. Who saw this coming? Because I definitely didn't. The Minnesota Lynx are honestly one of the best teams in the WNBA. They have all their pieces. They're just such a good team. They have Nafisa Collier, who is literally a baller. Like, she's so good. Next to Asia Wilson, I think she's like one of the best players in the league. So to be able to have her on a shooting slump was pretty impressive. Now, it could have just been an off night, but overall, I just feel like Indiana really put the pressure on, and I didn't expect that, because usually they're not really aggressive. They're kind of soft sometimes, so the fact that they could actually match the Minnesota Lynx's energy was pretty impressive.
And who could blame them? The team everyone expected to be a punching bag is now handing out uppercuts, and the Lynx caught every single one. This Fever squad moves differently now, allergic to mediocrity, leaving anyone who faces them breaking out in hives. Meanwhile, Cheryl was probably flipping through mental flashcards, trying to figure out when WNBA rules changed to allow this level of embarrassment. Her timeouts? Desperate attempts to stop a tsunami with a paper towel. She tried every trick, switched every matchup, yelled every phrase that's probably banned in 2 countries, and it didn't matter. Because when the Fever decide to choke you out on defense and punch you in the gut on offense, all you can do is update your resume, and maybe ask for hugs.